Колеги, ми продовжуємо робочий день. Тема наступна.
We start our working day, and the next our press conference is devoted to the three-day petal procession in honor of the Heavenly Hundred. We have Serhiy Suchok and Yuliya Holodna. Good afternoon, dear friends. 2 years ago, on Tuesday, February 18th, was called the Bloody Tuesday. This was a Bloody Tuesday when the people of Ukraine understood that it had just two possible ways of the living, either to reject from dignity or to fight for the dignity. And the petal procession comes from the verse of Ukrainian poetess who wrote a poem saying that I will cover with petals all the roads where your blood was shed. And 3 days commemorate the day when students were beaten on Maidan. Then the second day commemorates all those heroes who fought on Maidan. This year we also commemorated the night of students' protest, the night on November 13th. Unfortunately, not so many people came to stay with us during the whole night. And on January 22nd, we got the first people who were killed, those heroes from the Heavenly Hundred who were killed. And that night also we spent near a monument to Serhiy Suchok, Mikhailo Brzezinski, Roman Senek, and there we were joined by those patriots to whom these events are important and who wish to do something for Ukraine. What happened during that 4 months in 2014, in 2013, 2014, this was very important. People expressed strong will to protect the future of their children, as Serhiy Suchok said. And our third commemorative action, which we will had held on February 18th, 19th, and 20th, will be the petal procession. Of course, we would like to unite people in this commemoration of all the sad but exciting days. We will commemorate those people who marched to Verkhovna Rada in a peaceful rally and they were killed. And those shoots, they awakened people. That's why this was called the Revolution of Dignity. What does it mean, dignity? This is the high understanding of my own identification. I am a free person who respects other people. This is a unique feeling. At the same time, Ukrainian people are very tolerant people, but there is the feeling of dignity which you cannot, which you should not oppress. During the days, Ukrainians were intimidated, and we recollected how the metro was closed, how the Ukrainian house was burned. We know what happened in the Ukrainian house. We recollect that events when there were rumors that Maidan would be destroyed, and despite all those obstacles, despite the closure of all the roads to the city, people went to Maidan. These were all different people. These were all people of different nationalities. And those people who fought the first, one was Armenian guy, the second was Belarusian guy. Ethnically, they were not Ukrainians, but they wished to defend this land, to defend it, and to defend the dignity. They felt deep internal freedom. During the 3 days of our action, we invite people willing to commemorate that events to join us. And we invite people to rethink whether they act in dignified manner every day, whether they are worth, whether they are worthy that blood which was shed by the Heavenly Hundred, and whether we are ready to defend the same values which were valued by the heroes of Heavenly Hundred. So we invite you to come feeling this call of your soul and spirit. So on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at 7 o'clock, we invite you to Maidan, and we will start with singing the hymnal, the state song of Ukraine. We believe that in labor you can overcome the limits imposed by each authority. Then after singing the state hymn, we will have a minute of commemoration and minute of silence, and then we will recollect the stories, how that people died. This is very important to recollect all those people, and to recollect the tragic action committed by each such person, and to feel sympathy to those who gave their lives for Ukraine. This is a strong will to freedom, to love, and to also we will give you the opportunity to speak over the microphone, and we allow people to speak. And this is very free communication. And in free communication, people express themselves, and this is the free expression of ideas. From his point of view, he spoke very radically, but people were very much moved by his speech, and we invite everybody to speak, to recollect those who were killed, to share ideas, to meet friends with whom you stayed all 4 months, and there are also people who later went to the east. So we do not limit people in their self-expression, and we then we will have an amateur performance which we prepared. It is called Ukraine as a Cradle of New Humanity. In our team, we have almost professional directors, but who we selected music, and without any words, we try to show what was happening to Ukraine before Maidan, what happened during Maidan, and how do we see the future of Ukraine. That's why we invite you to join us on Maidan and to see our performance. And after this performance, the angel, who is one of the heroes of our performance, will lead this petal procession. And on February 18th, 19th, and 20th, we will make stations at each place where the blood was shed during the Revolution of Dignity. For us, these are not just empty words. For us, it's important to involve those people for whom this is a very strong internal feeling. I would like to finish with the words of a poetess who started to write poetry during events on Maidan, and we have created in internet a special website which is called Euromaidan Poetry. Some of them you even can see on the walls here around this very famous place. And I would like to finish with the verse of Nadia Vilna, which is called The Will of Maidan. I think that this is an important feeling, to feel that you are fed from this Maidan fire. Let the frosted stars predict our future, and the frosty winds won't break our future. We are overcoming our slavery, and Maidan reveals the sparkling eyes. They are like a light at night. This a message to humankind from Ukraine about the courage of the sons of Ukraine, and the angels. The angels see how the free people of Ukraine liberates itself. So we invite you to come to our event on February 18th, 19th, and 12th. I'm Serhiy Suchok.
director of Radio Volnitsya project, and a year ago, the House of Trade Unions, there was it was written heroes of Ukraine and glory to the heroes of Ukraine, but this these words were removed, and now white blanket is hanging there. Also in the Ukrainian house, there are words, Ukraine is united, but now it's gone. And it looks like someone, step by step, tries to remove all these memories from our conscious. And they try to make us forget these people, but we won't forget them. And we shouldn't do this. And we remember that Ukraine became united, and the Ukrainians understood that their faith is in their hands, and the future of Ukraine is in their hands. And no one can take this away, no matter how they try. And we shouldn't forget about the blood of Heavenly Hundred and why this blood was shed. And we will remember those who gave their lives for the right of Ukraine to be a state of independent and honest people. That's why we invite you on the 18th and 19th of February. We gather near Stella, and we will walk, and we will write some petal of roses where the blood of our countrymen was shed. Please come and join us in this. Thank you. And we support you, and we believe that we should remind about those events that happened 2 years ago, and to our power and to other people. And of course, there are some videos about the events in Institutskaya Street, the bloodshed there, and these video clips, they should be broadcast because we should remember about these events. And as to the theatric performance, when is it going to happen? Is it on? It will be on the 18th of February. It will be the day, and our finances are limited. We do not represent any political forces, and we don't want to be supported by these political forces. And it's rather difficult to bring equipment, and this performance will be on the 18th of February. At about 8 or 8:30 p.m. This is a short performance, but it is a interesting performance that is interesting to see. And what is your opinion? During these 2 years, were there some positive actions from power? Because we have a lot of negative things, but still. And another question, what is your opinion on our nearest future? Those who ordered to shoot at people, do you think these people are going to be punished for their actions? As to the positive things that were done by the power, I won't say power, because the power belongs to the people of Ukraine by constitution. That's why we should say bodies of power. And we should remember about it that these are bodies of power that are appointed and that serve people. And these bodies of power, they did some steps, and I work in IT area, and I like that many things are now on the internet. We may observe e-tenders like Prozora site, also registration of documents is more transparent. But the main thing is that not only the power should change, but the society. The changes in society are important. People should take responsibility in order to change things, in order to change their future. And because of this, Ukraine can change. And if we want to know who are those people who killed people in Maidan, and we can find them in several days or even sooner, because this is an emotional state and people force all improper things out. Those politicians who do not observe the rules, those traitors, and not only traitors of our state and ideas, but also the traitors of human dignity. And then a person betrays himself and understands that he did this, it repels the society from this person. And we should look into the future through this perspective, and we should try to do this. And our Ukraine should go along the way when everyone understands his place and do his work properly. And in such a way, Ukraine will become a country of free and nice people. We are speaking now about the adults, but we forget about children of Ukraine, about people who were about 2, 4 when Maidan happened, and now they are older, and I saw many young people, and it's difficult to speak with them because we were brought up in different times, and these young people, they have different prospects, and they have a will to defend their choice, and for example, they can make their own choices consciously, not only by their mind, but by their heart. They want to defend their values. And what we do now, we should remember that we do this in order to bring up the society, the nation, and to bring up children, that they won't be slaves, and they should choose by their hearts. And this is our mission. And who can deprive us of this? So, a question. Yuliya, UCMC, and are the members of the families of Family 100 invited to this event? We disseminate the information about this event, and every event provides us with an opportunity to communicate with the relatives of Heavenly 100, and we have contacts of these people. And before this, today, tomorrow, we send invitations to them, and they attend our events. They joined us, and of course, we are ready to cooperate with them. And it's very important for us that this memory live in the hearts of Ukrainian and the whole world. And also I would like to add that it's very difficult for these families to come up and speak to people. It's very important for them that people remember their loved ones and to join this atmosphere, that this was not in vain, that it wasn't a dream, it was the reality, and that people remember these events and value them, and it's more important than the presentation. And as to Mikhail Zhizhnevsky, there were many events and meetings, and his friends, they are here. They speak Belarusian, and they say, let Belarus live, and they speak about him as a person, that his favorite song, about his favorite song, and also the song is a symbol of heavenly hundred, and for also friend of Sergei Nigayan also took part in our events, and he told us where Sergei Nigayan was at that time, and from what direction the enemy shot. And Evgenia Shumakina, UCMC. And what about the representatives of power? Local government, or in order to get to be involved in your events, for example, city administration or some other representatives of power. I don't know about this year, but last year, on the 21st of February, there was an event in Kiev, and this year I'm not sure, but we have contacts with the power. We inform about our event, and in a week after the event, we get a letter where it is written that we do not forbid this, but you should take into account some measures that are envisaged by the law of Ukraine on such events, and that's all. And in this way, we contact the power. And also, we are helped by the police, and they help more than, and they help us a lot. Thank you. And we need support, because it's time-consuming to organize this event, and different NGOs join us, and we try to gather these organizations, those people who do something for people, and we try to establish cooperation and consensus among us, and we understand each other, and we are grateful to our partners of petal procession, and we are these are not roses that are cut. These are roses that are subject to destruction, and the company provides us with these roses. And last year there was information in the media that petal procession is a symbolic name. People ask us for these petals of roses, and they join this procession, and it's a very nice moment, and it would be very difficult to buy these flowers. It's too expensive, and it's important for us not only that these petals of these roses, that they are in the streets, but also that we feel this moment, and we see the reaction of people, and we are grateful to those people who support us, and the NGOs and people, ordinary people who are not the members of any organizations, those who support us. Thank you. And the last question. Two last questions. Serhiy Suchok, UCMC. Tell us, please. You said that that the United Ukraine billboard disappeared from the building of trade unions. Do you have some proposals to the city administration on the renewal of this advertisement of such banners? And maybe city lights on the steam should be in Institutskaya and Krishyatik Street. Thank you for your question. I saw this recently, and many Kievans maybe also have seen this. And to make campaign out of it and try to understand who did this. But maybe some money will be spent for this, and they should answer who did this and why these banners were lifted. And also we will write a letter to a city administration, and we will be provided with information who did this, and we can make a request. It's a public information, and then we will provide this information in the social network. And also relatives of the Heavenly Hundred addressed us, and told them that in Institutsk there will be a memorial, and they remember about this and they wait for this. Dear Ms. Maria, UCMC, about your program of these 3 days. So the first day there will be a performance, and the next days will a minute of silence and memory and remembrance, and we will name all those heroes who died in this day on the 19th, on the 20th of February, and after this, there will be a petal procession. So we plan this, and we hope that it will be so. On the 20th of February, that was like this, and that there were some events from the power, and we paid attention that it was correctly held, and there were no political populist things. People were able to lay flowers, to keep a minute of silence, and our petal procession, it was at the end of the event, and we invite everyone to take part in those events that they want to join, and if they join us for these 3 days, so it will be in this. So our press conference is over. Thank you and goodbye. Colleagues, I remind that our next press briefing